So last week we did portraits with a grid. We basically had the Asaro head, which is like that geometric shaped sculpture of a head that has different facets on it to kind of break it down the facial structure. So that's what we did last week. We painted that with a grid. This week I wanted to show my students something a bit easier and faster as far as getting an image to transfer from one place to another. So what I did was I picked a photo that I could print kind of actual size. So the printout of this reference photo was about 8 by 10, and it's of musician Emily Haines. She's a lead singer from Metric, a Canadian band. And I printed the image out, and what I didn't show here was that I taped the carbon transfer paper, which you can get at any art store, and then the reference on top, and then I traced the image with a pen so that it basically scrapes the carbon anywhere you draw on top of it. It just transfers it to the canvas underneath. And here I'm using canvas paper. It's kind of like this big drawing pad, but instead of regular paper inside, it's canvases, rather canvas sheets that are gessoed. So you can just paint right on it, and it doesn't buckle or get soaked or anything. So in this case, I was showing different skin tones, and it's a great way, like when you're using transfer paper, it's a really quick way to get the likeness of a character. Especially once you already know how to paint people, if you just want to skip to getting the skin tones right and working on the composition and not worrying about drawing it endlessly over and over again to try to get the likeness of a person, using the transfer paper is a great shortcut. So I have a few notes on how to mix different types of skin tones, which accompany this lesson that we did. I think this is week 7 of my acrylic painting for beginners class. So here you can see, like, I did all the roughs first, kind of like an acrylic wash, and then I went in more detail with fresh paint that wasn't watered down, because my palette is a stay wet palette, and over time the paint absorbed a lot of the water, so I took out a new palette paper and then mixed up some of the skin tones with fresh paint, so it was a bit thicker and easier to work with. So once doing the first run, like the wash run, where I can still kind of see all of my outlines, then I go in with thicker paint and kind of touch up the skin tones and blend them with a little more care. And I'm not going to finish this one in completion, like just for example's sake. It was just really to show how to use the transfer paper and to get a finished piece a little bit faster.